Valorant will not kill Overwatch. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here, and I wanted to have a discussion about this because so many people have called Valorant a killer of many different games. CSGO, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Fortnite. Goodness knows why they think it's going to kill Fortnite, because it's not going to. But it's not going to kill Overwatch either. And there are some clear, glaring gameplay aspects that tell us this when you watch or play Valorant. Now, obviously, not everyone has had the pleasure of playing Valorant so far. I'm sure that some people are very frustrated with the fact that they can't get their drop for the Valorant key. I was very, very lucky, although it's not a key, I shouldn't say that, but link your Twitch account to your Riot account, remember, and watch streams. It's purely luck-based, and even if you have 3,000 tabs open with 3,000 different streams open, you're still not going to have more chance of a person with one stream open, I believe, anyway. So just bear that in mind. But with Valorant, I said this in the video that I did the other day, and I'll say it again, and I said it, I was actually thinking it before Valorant went to closed beta. It's CSGO. It is so CSGO-y. It is ridiculous. It is a lot slower than Overwatch. That is the biggest difference you will see from playing Valorant and playing Overwatch. Overwatch, honestly, it's very difficult when you're in the Overwatch ecosystem, right? If you play mostly only Overwatch, which is something generally I've done for the past years. I've played Overwatch and not much else. So when you get locked into the Overwatch ecosystem, you kind of let it pass you by. But when you see streamers that haven't played Overwatch in a long time and come back to it, or when you play a game like Valorant or CSGO, then you see quite how fast-paced Overwatch is. Overwatch is one of the most fast-paced games in terms of FPS genre on the market. It is ridiculous how fast-paced Overwatch is. Its fights go really fast, but Overwatch compared to Valorant, Valorant is so much slower. So much slower. And that's why a lot of people who go from playing Overwatch to playing Valorant are going to have quite a big problem. And that is reining it in. Because I have this problem. I get too aggressive. I want to run and I want a gun. That's what I want to do. And that is not the way Valorant works. So, again, if you have history in CSGO, you'll understand this. You've got to play slow. You've got to play your corners. And in Overwatch, that's less of the case, unless you're playing against a specific hero, like a Widowmaker, that you would play your corners then. But Overwatch is much faster paced than Valorant is, or ever will be. I'll be honest with you. So, there is a big playstyle difference between the two. Then, obviously, we have the thing of gunplay. Gunplay in Valorant is very nice. And in Overwatch, you don't have nice guns all the time. What I mean by that is, it's fairly nice to shoot Soldier 76's gun. It's fairly nice to shoot the Peacekeeper for McCree. But when it comes to Ash's Viper, it's always felt a bit janky to me. In Valorant, the gunplay is smooth. It is very nice to work with. I would say, actually, I've played a tiny little bit of CSGO in my time. I think it's better than CSGO. I like it better than CSGO, the gunplay. But again, difficult. And Valorant also, compared to Overwatch, much less forgiving. So you have got to play those corners, because otherwise you will get your head ripped off. I've had it happen so many times to me, because I'm not used to the genre. Then you've got to play it slow, otherwise you will get ripped apart in Valorant. It's ridiculous. And so we come to the point of the discussion where people will start saying, well, look at the ultimates, look at the abilities, it's so much like Overwatch. Where, in fact, it isn't. There are some abilities that are comparable to things we have seen in Overwatch, but they are not completely Overwatch. So Overwatch is more ability based than it is gunplay based these days, let's be honest. So abilities can change the course of fights in Overwatch, and they can do the very same in Valorant. But abilities are used in much a different way in Valorant compared to Overwatch. So Overwatch actually doesn't have that many area denial ultimates or abilities. So when we talk about area denial, the thing that pops out probably the most is Torbjorn's ultimate, the new Torbjorn ultimate anyway. Doomfist, for example, that's a bit area denial, but again, you know, it's kind of moving. Doomfist's ultimate actually would fit into Valorant very well. Would fit into Valorant very well if Doomfist didn't have to go in himself. If he could remotely launch that Meteor Strike, then it would fit very well in Valorant, because it's a very... You've got time to move out of that ult, but if you don't move out of that ult, it will punish you. Big time. But in Overwatch, you've got things like the Shatter, the Reinhardt Shatter, Diva Bomb is not something you'd see in Valorant. It's way too impactful. But probably the hero that is most translated to Valorant that I have seen is Hanzo. So if you compare Hanzo and Sova in Valorant, you will see a lot of similarities. Sova has a recon arrow that, or bolt, I think it's called, that you know, reveals enemies, just like Hanzo's sonic arrow. Hanzo's ultimate, the dragons. Sova has an ultimate that beams through a wall. It can go through walls and kill people through walls, but you do have prior warning to it. So I think Sova's ultimate, if you catch it on a player, is a bit more lethal than Hanzo's ultimate is. But those two, Sova and Hanzo, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, are the most comparable in terms of agent-hero comparisons between Overwatch and Valorant. There are other takes for other agents in Valorant, though, where you could see influence from perhaps Overwatch Origins. For example, Breach has his ultimate Rolling Thunder, which could be slightly comparable to a Reinhardt Shatter, but it's much easier to react to than a Reinhardt Shatter is. Also, if you look at Raze, for example, she has echoes of some Junkrat play that you might see in Overwatch. So there are, like, things taken out of... I don't want to say taken out of Overwatch, but inspiration taken from Overwatch. And the Valorant devs have admitted this. They've taken inspiration from other games to create Valorant. And I think it's a nice sort of thing, but all of the ultimate abilities especially are very much more about area denial rather than making plays. For example, Zarya's ultimate, you wouldn't see that in Valorant, because Zarya's ultimate is not an area of denial ultimate. It is a massive playmaking ultimate that can swing fights entirely, but in a different way to how ultimates can swing fights in Valorant. Because your ultimate, really for Valorant, is not too much about getting kills. It's more about setting yourself up into a position to get kills. Whereas Zarya's is basically, well, let's all group everyone together and make it easy on ourselves. Let's be honest, that's what Zarya's ultimate is. So that's the difference, right? Now, I'm saying that all ultimates in Valorant are area denial. There is, from what I can think of right now, one exception to that. And that would be Sage. Sage is a support, or what Overwatch players would call a support in Valorant. And as an ultimate, Sage has a single target resurrection. So in essence, she is Mercy, but she's also got a healing orb, so she's also Moira or Zenyatta, but she's also got a wall, so she's also Mei as well. So yeah, there's a lot to take away of there. She's also got an orb which can slow a certain area as well, which is, yeah, again, a bit Mei-ish, but again, it's an area denial sort of an ability, which Valorant relies heavily on. There are a lot of smokes. There are a lot of different smokes in Valorant for different heroes. Some heroes have got more smokes than others. It's all ability based. It's not like smoke grenades, but you do buy abilities, certain abilities in Valorant. But it's all very different. The playstyle is very, very different, and it takes some getting used to. Now, at the end of the day, the playstyles are so different that if you, at your core, have played Overwatch for so long and you love the game and you love the way it plays, you're not going to completely abandon Overwatch to play Valorant. You're just not, because it's going to be very, very different. Now, at the end of the day, why on earth can't you play two games? That's the question. You can play Valorant and you can play Overwatch. They are two very different styles of games, even though they are technically in the FPS genre. So, my message for this video is, yes, we are seeing, and there will be a transfer roundup, there is a lot of Overwatch retirements, with people saying, well, I'm off to play Valorant, see ya. And yes, those players are off to play Valorant. Some of them will go pro, some of them won't, because some of them might be nearer the end of their careers. But yeah, there are retirements from Overwatch Pro play to go and play Valorant. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, again, you're not going to see people from the Overwatch League retiring to play Valorant. I'd be very, very, very surprised. Because the most you'll probably see from Overwatch is Tier 2. And that's a whole different video. But people retiring from some Tier 2 places to play Valorant is not Valorant's fault. It's Tier 2 and Blizzard's fault. And we've talked about this for a very long time. If there was incentive in that sort of area for Overwatch, they wouldn't be leaving. But again, that's a discussion for an entirely different video. So to sum this up, Valorant and Overwatch are very, very different. If you come from Overwatch and you play the same sort of style in Valorant, you will get ripped apart. But it is a nice game to play, Valorant. I am warming to it. It's going to take a lot of learning, but I am warming to it. But it is a lot less forgiving than Overwatch. And again, if you've got history in CSGO and you like Overwatch, then it might just be the perfect amalgamation of two games, with the ultimates and the abilities that you get in Valorant and the gunplay and the playstyle of CSGO, with little bits of Rainbow Six Siege and Apex Legends in there. It really could be the perfect game for some people, but for me, it still won't beat Overwatch. Because Overwatch is Overwatch, and I can't think of another game that touches Overwatch right now. If that game comes around, I'm willing to test it out. I'm willing to be proved wrong. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.